Hello, hello, hello. I am making another clay video with blue imitation Play-Doh and smells good. And I got my Cookie Monster on to match the blues and, literally blues. I feel the blues. I feel the blues music very much. So, Ry Cooder, my favorite. And I feel the blues emotionally, as always. And the blue sky is out, and the sun is shining down. I'm gonna go into the garden later and get grounded. I have winter clothes on, but because it's cold. But the sun is out, and so that heats it up a little bit. We went to the horse yesterday. I made the horse video. It was a wonderful day yesterday. And the horse and I had a really wonderful afternoon, early evening. And was so much fun to hang out with him. And I kissed him a whole lot on his nose, on this beautiful, beautiful, soft, rubbery nose. I particularly love this nostril area. That feels so good. So today I want to make the blue god with this. I want to make the blue god in person form with this, because the blue god protects all of us. Very important that we make blue gods every day with blade. Your life would become so abundant if you would make a blue god every day. After this video, with this video as an instruction video, how to make a blue god. And then you get this at the Dollar Tree store or somewhere at a kid's store, toy store. And you can make a blue god with one of those. And then you let it dry in the window. And then you can paint it afterwards with acrylic colors from Home Depot or any hardware store. Indoor decorating, high gloss acrylic paint I recommend. So I have acrylic paint in exactly this color actually upstairs. Also from Home Depot in high gloss, but this is not it. That would come off very quickly if I use that. Now this is Wet n Wild nail polish, fast hardening and long lasting. I love to have colors on my fingernails. I like it. It's cute. And my fingernails have to be super short. I cannot stand long fingernails at all. I'm an artist. I use my hands. I also don't want to poke anyone accidentally with long fingernails. It's bullshit. It's BS from the past. Let's get over it now. Let's make blue gods instead with short fingernails. Okay. It's very important. And this Cookie Monster is also from the Dollar Tree store. It's very nice and squishy. I absolutely love it. I have another one in pink. that I have been wearing outside sometimes. So I'm planning on doing that again. I wore that to the Dollar Tree store, and my friends are working there. My friend Becky and the other girl's name I don't know. And she said, well, right on, So she saw me buying it and she saw me wearing it. It's nice. I love open-minded people very much. Some people think you need to only wear Tiffany's jewelry or something. Like chains around your neck. Literally, wedding bands. That's how we tether each other to each other or something. It's all total BS. Marriage is outdated, together with the high heels, long fingernails. Religion, fundamentalism, closed-mindedness, lace, stockings, and corsets. Everything belongs into a museum. It can get dusty there. I don't wear bras at home. I don't see the point. When I go places, I have my sports bra on. You can see that in the video. I also want to talk about psychology, and I've been crying my eyes out a whole lot over the Unicorn Man. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be tethering the Unicorn Man to me with a guilt-tripping experience and or letting my childhood trauma out on him or something. No, never, ever, ever. He has enough of that on his own. Trust me. We all do. I'm not going to talk about his pain. He has to do that himself. If he wants the public to know about it, he has to share that with you. I'm not going to tell people what someone tells me. That's confidentiality. And whatever you share with me is safe. And also, I am your friend for life, whether we are together or not. I love you unconditionally, and I really mean it. I was painting upstairs. I know you're not that much interested in me. You probably found other girls that are more attractive. It's not a biggie, it's okay. You are a young stallion and you need to enjoy your life as long as you're young. Enjoy your youth, I really enjoy it to the fullest. Just don't get into danger, don't get STDs, don't get AIDS, don't catch a virus. Don't get into trouble. Don't get hurt by anyone. Don't get beaten up by a jealous boyfriend or something. Paul would never beat anyone. He'd be angry, but he would never. He'd be having a sour look on his face, that's all. I told Paul exactly how I feel about him, about my existence here, the situation, many, many times. I tell him all the time when I have new insights. I tell him everything, how I feel. I've shared everything with him. I've shared stuff with him that I didn't share with anyone else. He is my closest friend. Okay, he's my best friend, like a dad. And I love him infinitely much. And I just want to find a solution. Just for myself, I want to find a solution for him and for me to be happy, I told him to go for that lady that works at the store, the one store. She likes him. She's about my age. She could be his age, I don't know. When people are drinking alcohol, they look at least 20 years older. Drugs and alcohol really do people in, I tell you that. And nicotine and cigarettes and all of that stuff. It's so damaging. It's so sad to see. But, he's not attracted to her. But if she likes him, he figures, better to have a friend than no friend at all. In that sense, he's not totally picky. Who he's being friends with. He's kind of picky. He would rather be with an animal rights activist than with someone who shares his values, and with an atheist. That would be the best, because he's an atheist. I'm not an atheist. So we had long debates over this stuff. Endless debates into the night. He would never stop. Never stop. And I will say, we will be talking here again. Still at 10 a.m. if I don't go to bed now. So the only thing that matters was the blue God, are the eyes, because he sees us. Intimacy. Into me. See. I see you. I see you, baby. And that's why I was crying. That's why I'm crying. Today I was crying upstairs because I feel your pain. I feel your despair. I can just imagine what it must be like for you with that kind of past. That's much worse even than what I have been through. Much worse. But you're a very advanced soul, God level. So you need to know that. You need to realize that. You need to realize that, and you need to treat yourself accordingly. And you're not at this point. You're not, and I understand why. You're not respecting your body enough. I know where it comes from. 100%. I cried my eyes out. I said, baby, I'm sorry. I'm infinitely sorry. So infinitely sorry. I don't want to cry now. I'm infinitely sorry. What you have been through, it's unbelievable. It's unacceptable. It's It's horror and the pain is unthinkable. I want to rescue you, but I can't rescue a human. They have to want to be rescued. I need to be rescued too, you know. I'm not above anyone in that sense. I'm always work in progress, you know. I need to be rescued. The Blue God always says, rescue yourself, Nicola. You can do it. You can do it. And I'm doing everything. I'm doing everything I can. Everything. Absolutely everything. I just use every holistic modality that I can get my hands on. I really do. And that's the way to do it. You can't just rely on one thing and think, you know, oh, if I light a purple candle and do a puja, it will all be okay. No, you have to go for everything. You know, you have to drink watermelon juice every day. You have to eat spinach raw. You have to get grounded. You have to pet animals. You have to quit all substances. All bad substances. All of it. There's no other way around it. Okay. You have to. You have to do that. Love yourself. Love your body. Okay. And you're not going to fall into an abyss. I promise that. And I'm here, you know. I'm here at all times to guide people through. All of my friends, all of my addictive friends on the internet. Yeah, I'm here for you as a friend. I'm not going to be the princess on the pea, though, who sits here endlessly waiting for some guy to finally decide to show himself to me, you know, which has been going on in the chat room for all these years with the Ice King. He wouldn't show himself to me, and the other guys neither. I don't know why, and it doesn't really matter what the reason is. You know your own reasons, but you can't expect me then to be waiting there endlessly until you decide to show yourself to me. So I will move on, of course. You know, I have to. I have needs. I can't be waiting for a boy who is playing and decides at some point, oh, let me do the big mama now. Wait a minute, where's she? What? She moved on. Found someone else. She found what she's looking for, you know. It doesn't work that way, you know. Of course it doesn't work that way. I'm not a god. I'm a human. I'm looking for a man who is mentally mature and who wants me and who wants my body and who loves me. By that I mean real love, real compassion. Love me like I love the horse and the dogs and that pity baby who I want to rescue. Pity baby told me with his body, "You're my mama. I want to go with you. I want to cling to you. He leaned real hard against my legs, and I could sense an urgency in that. And when that happened, it just did something to my brain. I still said to Paul, no, after we left there, I'm sorry, I want to get European Basset Hound. And I felt so bad when I said that. I felt so selfish in all of this. And I said, no, I can't, I'm sorry, I'm selfish. And I just accepted that I'm selfish. And then today, when I woke up, first thing I'm thinking about is that pity baby. My God, with those sad eyes. He's from Orange County. Some good Samaritan woman brought him over here, hoping that he would find a home. I don't want her to bring him all the way from there. Days of driving just to be euthanized. And they have to euthanize dogs. They have no other choice. They can't help any more dogs if they don't euthanize dogs. They have to at some point. That's the ethical thing to do. So he wants to live. He has a zest for life. He takes those little biscuit bones, he takes them with so much gratitude. And he chews them with his sparkly white shark teeth. And someone brought him a futon dog bed yesterday. And he was like, oh, okay, that seems cozy. And someone brought him a rubber champagne bottle, a toy for dogs. And he took that champagne bottle and he squeezed it. And then he dropped it. And then later, we took him for a walk, and then when he came back after that walk, he took that champagne bottle and put it on that futon bed. He said, oh, I'm really infinitely grateful that you guys are giving me this. And when I see that kind of stuff, when I see this happening, he's just like a child, just like a human. There's no difference at all. No difference. And how he looks at me he looks at me like this. I can't imitate. You will see him. You will see him. I'm gonna get him. Because I love him. I love that baby. Okay. And this is not because I'm trying not to be selfish. This is my mother instinct taking over. And that's why I told Paul a while back, I don't want to go to the animal shelter. I want a European Basset Hound. I don't want to go to the animal shelter. I just sit there in the van crying for all the dogs and their stories. And what that pity baby had been through is just unimaginable. He was on a chain for 5 years. That's illegal in California. And that's how good Samaritans were able to get him away from there. And the guy got arrested. But, it's Governor Newsom. Those people are going to be back on the streets. And they're going to just continue to do harm to animals. And Humans. This is gonna go on endlessly until we get the AGI robots. Why, these AGI robots, they're gonna have a talk with Governor Newsom. You better believe it. I can't wait. And I want to be invited to be the first one to throw a cake in Governor Newsom's face. Vegan. He deserves it. What a corrupt, selfish, self-serving person and liar. Incredible. That's sad. It is what it is. Let's make the best out of it, you know. That's my philosophy for my life. Whatever there is, let's make the best out of it. And we can't expect anything from other people. We can't be guilt-tripping anyone. I can't guilt-trip Governor Newsom, but I can throw a cake in his face. That I could do. I should be allowed to do. It's freedom of speech, right? It's freedom of cake throwing. No, that would not be legal. But I'm so glad we still have some freedom of speech, a little bit left. Let's use it, okay? Let's use it before that's gone too. Because everyone is scared of being socially outcast. They put that over ethics. But let's not be guilt-tripping anyone. Everyone has their story, and people are where they are. A lot of people are afraid of intimacy and love. They're afraid of many different things. They're afraid of opening up. They're afraid that they could sell their soul to someone, and then what? And then that childhood trauma could surface, or it could be repeated. The ego is very afraid of that. And I understand. That little pity dog. You know, we wanted to take him for a walk into the forest. And at the beginning of the forest, he just lied down flat on the ground. And he had this horrifically worried look on his face. Like doom and gloom. And there was no way we could lure him up into the forest. He was like, no, I'm not going in there. I don't know what's there. And I don't know who's there. There may be other animals. He was terrified, absolutely terrified. He is scared of other dogs. I don't even want to think about what he has been through. He has some scars on him. His spinal cord looks like scoliosis. He needs a lot of massages. My message to the world is be gentle with animals. I don't know if this message reaches people. I feel like it doesn't reach anyone. But that's the only thing I can do is make videos and talk about this and bring awareness to the world. The animals are just like us. They have exactly the same nervous system, exactly the same functioning brain and body. There are just some differences that are just like we have differences among humans. Some humans are better at math, some are better at philosophy, dogs are better at sense of smelling than we are. They're psychic also. They're not as cognitively abstract thinking all the time, but there are some dogs, Doberman, for example, who have been seen to do abstract thinking. This kind of thing happens sometimes. Okay. There are some very intelligent dogs. I know the Pitty is very intelligent. I can see that. Much more intelligent than the Papa dog and Kenny. I can clearly see that. No, cognitively more intelligent. In terms of psychic abilities, in terms of feeling the other person, in terms of compassion, in terms of sentience, we're all the same. We're all... Kenny was the most of all. Compassionate and sentient and attuned and feeling the other. The Papa had a lot of compassion for me too. Dogs have compassion for us. Be good to them. Be kind to them. Don't drag them on the leash. Don't put choke collars on them. Don't use shock collars. Don't use choke chains. Okay. Don't chain your animal up. You know, it would make you crazy if someone did that to you. That makes dogs crazy. This Pitty baby is traumatized. Really, really traumatized. The way he leaned against me, and then the lady tried to drag him. He didn't want to go. He was sliding by the collar, dragging him by the collar. I said, don't do that. I rushed over there. I held him in my arm. Just for like half a minute or something, I held him in my arm, and that gave him so much courage that then he was able to walk back to that kennel where he's staying at right now. He has quite a large kennel, so with toys, and they're taking really good care of the dogs. But they're all under time pressure, and they're understaffed, and we were thinking of helping them. That would put me way out of my comfort zone. I already stepped way out of my comfort zone to go there in the first place, because that place and the dogs, where they're coming from, they're full of those drug particles and, I don't know, dirty environments. So it's very hard for me. But my mother instinct is much bigger than my OCD fear, my OCD avoidance, so, and that's what matters. What matters is love, mother instinct, compassion. I would give my life to protect another living being from harm. And that's good. So in regards to the unicorn man and my strong love for him, that is, I have this strong love for him, this infinite love for him, that stands by itself. That's not connected to my needs. Then I also have the needs for him as well. I see these two as two different emotional levels. A lot of people mix that up. A lot of people think love is need. No. I have need for him, and I also have love. I can let him go. I can still love him unconditionally. I will for the rest of my life. You amazing light being, Lemurian. So I didn't even know that I could feel that for a human. I didn't realize. It's new and it's kind of strange, and it makes me sob and cry, and it's good and it's wonderful. And then I also have the needs, and they make me cry and sob. But that's my own business. That's my own pain from childhood. And I can see this cognitively. I can understand where you're coming from. I can feel you. I can understand your pain. I'm here as a friend. No matter what. And I feel this I feel this deep compassion for you. And then I also have my own needs, my physical needs. They really got into gear. And also pain from my childhood and unfulfilled needs from childhood. Need for touch as unfulfilled needs from childhood throughout my life, and also in the present, of course. I'm a living being with skin, and I need touch. And I'm not gonna expect anything from anyone. Nobody owes me anything. Can't expect it. I can't go up to someone and say, you owe me touch. You owe me a massage or something. No. If I want that, I have to pay for it. I pay for a hooker man. I don't have money, and I wouldn't want to do this anyway, because that's just bought love. I'm a giver and sucker, and people see that, of course. And that's why Paul is not going to give me my money back, because he sees that. He knows that I would be suckered into giving my money away to some Chippendale boys or something. No, but no, I wouldn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do this, because that wouldn't. Then I would feel like some old cougar or something who can't get laid. She has to lay out the wallet first. No, that wouldn't feel good. Then I don't feel wanted. No, I need to feel wanted. That's very important. And I'm not a cougar yet, so don't call me cougar. Don't call me these terrible names that people have called me in the chat room. I don't want to repeat it now. Makes me sad. No, I'm none of that. Okay. Maybe in 20 years. I still have my 100% estrogen and fertility. So the cougars, they're like past that. Okay, and they're still acting it out, and some of them take fertility drugs and estrogen. They inject estrogen into them. I will never do that. Okay, I'm totally against something like that. I have my natural estrogen level overload, and I'm infinitely grateful for that, to the blue god for that. Yes, estrogen, that is good. That is very good, is that. And it's good, and there's, people are always afraid to talk about these kind of things. So much shame in society, so sad. Sridhar Krishnamurti always talked about it. He said, it's good, sex is good. It's wonderful. We just don't want to confuse that with love or with something, with compassion or something very, very serious, like making the world a better place. We don't even want to use that word spirituality. A lot of people, they mix that in with sexual enjoyment. That's a big mistake. They'll say that's a sacred or no. It's a physical need. It's good, not sacred, and it's not shame-ridden either. So it's like eating and drinking. If I eat my Toblerone, there's nothing sacred about it. My stomach was like totally closed the other day, and then I saw, he's not that much interested in me anymore. It's okay, it's not a biggie. And then I'm like, give me the Toblerone. And then I was eating the Toblerone with a lot of zest. Like the pity dog eating those biscuits with a lot of zest. And that makes me want to rescue him, He wants love. He wants to be rescued by Big Mama. He made that very clear. And that's a clear thing. When I held him in my arm, I felt the vibration in his body. There it is. 4444. Yes, Blue God. Yes. Just as I said that number popped up. Okay. That's a number. That's one of the numbers of the Blue God. And that number says everything's safe. You're in a safe place. Pity's in a safe place. You're going to get him. You're going to rescue him. You're going to be his mother. and it's wonderful. Okay, and we sleep with him in bed. He can sleep in my bed, or he can sleep in Paul's bed, or we all fall asleep with him in the middle. And I always go to my own bed later on. I always used to do that. In the beginning, we fall asleep like this, with the dog in between us, and then I go to my own bed because Paul snores and he sometimes wakes me up, and so, and I go to my own room, and I also have to use earplugs, the strongest ones, because birds wake me up. We always have the windows wide open, and there are very loud birds out there, and they do. There is one bird out there that does that frisky whistling sound, and sometimes in the middle of the night, I'm like, what's going on here? And I get woken up by them. And the stellar jays, they make these like crack, 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 crack. Oh man, that's loud. So no, I'm never mad at them. I have to laugh, but they wake me up, and so then I just have to adjust and adapt to the situation, and I have to put earplugs in. That's all there is to it. They have 33 decibel protection. They're very good, and so then the birds don't wake me up. The chainsaws, there's a lot of chain snowing always going on in this environment here. It makes me mad when I hear that, and sometimes I hear gunshots in the distance. That makes me more mad. And so if we want to sleep and get peace of mind, we have to put earplugs in. That's all there's to it, and that's okay. And you can wash them with baking soda, and that's really good. And then hang them up to dry, and then you can reuse them indefinitely. We can only work on ourselves. We cannot work on other people. They have to do this process on their own will. Okay? That has to come from within. That has to be, that's an inwardness process. That's a bottom-up processing. You cannot impose that on someone else. They have to understand it. They have to really understand it from the inside out. Unfortunately, when people are in some kind of addiction cycle, dopamine loop addiction, whatever that is, the addiction that creates this dopamine release in the brain and becomes a loop, and that's the addiction part. It's very difficult to convey to them that life is better outside of that dopamine loop. Much better. Oh, much better. No comparison at all. I've been through all of this, trust me. I know what I'm talking about. But it's very difficult to convey that. This understanding, unfortunately, usually comes when people hit rock bottom. As my friend Becky in the Dollar Tree store said, she had to hit rock bottom before she would quit the drugs. And she said that's what's going to happen with my brother, probably too. And I'm very worried for them, worried that they're going to run out of their budget. They're going to squander all. But I'm not going to be blamed anymore, because I'm not taking any more money from them. So they can't blame me, okay? So, and that feels a whole lot better, because I've been used as the scapegoat my whole life. Now they can't use me anymore as a scapegoat. That puts the ego into an elevator abyss. My friend Birgit saw that also. She said, if you're no longer dependent on your parents, that will probably bother your mother real bad. I'm sure it did. That's not my problem, though. I'm no longer someone's ego's act out modality scapegoat. No, I am not. I stepped out of it. And that's good. That's really good. That was a huge step in my life. Huge, huge, huge. Also, not talking to them and not talking to my mother anymore, that was a huge step for me. And I still had, for my whole life until just a few years ago, when I quit talking to her, I was still in this struggle with her. Still in this, Mommy, see that I'm suffering. She can't. She can't. She's in her own pain. She can't see. That's the problem. So we have to get out. We have to get away. We have to take our lives into our own hands. That's what we have to do. Have to do it. And part of that is really understanding that the addiction loop behavior is not going anywhere. It's not going to get you anywhere. It's only going to make your life worse. It's going to cause more suffering. It's going to cause so much suffering. And look at Mick Jagger. Okay, that my brother is kind of like, unfortunately, in this situation now. Seemingly endless supply of financial resources, but it's not. It's gonna run out, okay? And then he's gonna fall, okay? And it's not gonna be fun. It's not gonna be fun, and he will have bypassed the whole purpose of his existence. I can't convey this to anyone. They have to understand it really. They have to understand the core of it. And I don't know if I can cognitively convey this whole picture of it. As Becky said, they have to hit rock bottom. Jiddu Krishnamurti said it too. He said people would come to him that have reached the end of their road in their lives. All kinds of different people came to him. And they said, you're right. I have kidded myself my whole life. People have lived in caves trying to meditate, become gurus, and didn't work. Did not eradicate the ego at all. Quite the opposite. It made the ego even more convinced that the ego is someone important. See, that's not where we want to be going. Jonathan Mises said, in order to become an artist and free, you have to go through, as he called it, the valley of ridicule. I thought that's a real excellent word. Excellent terminology. The valley of ridicule. You have to go through that. That's what every energy healer has to do. That's the same as what I call the ego dissolution funnel. Most people are running away from that very fast, from that ego dissolution funnel, from the valley of ridicule. you become totally empowered if you go through the valley of ridicule, if you can show your vulnerability, okay? And that's my promise to all of you, okay? So you guys take care. Bye-bye.